So, Wuthering Waves finally reached a 30 million pre-registration milestones. Thus, we got all the rewards in the free 20 pulls. And as of today's recording, the number of pre-registration are now nearing to 31 million in total. Comparing to ZZZ, in which they passed 35 million, kudos to you. But seeing the gap between these two, regardless of their difference in release dates, I can already imagine where this is going. And I'm pretty sure some of you who are watching this video right now, specifically the Genshin stans, defenders, doing their best to spread misinformation, negativities, and hate towards the game, plus their complaints about advertising that would end up being a failure like what happened to PGR, well, you're wrong. Regardless of what these quote-unquote Hoyo slaves about the future of Wuthering Waves after 3 years of development with 2 closed beta tests and revamping the story and improvements to the game after receiving a hefty amount of feedback, they proved them wrong. So, what now, Hoyo slaves? Any last words? Any plans to make a drama again about the game? Speaking of drama, let's check on what's happening on Twitter, YouTube, and other social media after they realized that Wuthering Waves finally did it. So let's get into it. Apparently, Unreal Dreamer and Braxophone managed to capture this moment when Wuthering Waves was advertised in New York City Times Square. I kinda wish I was there too, to be honest. Next one. I saw this tweet and the caption says, "As a girl, I totally hate it when I'm just standing still and my boobs just start breathing on their own." I don't think this is a drama, but still, I find it funny. Because satirically, we breathe for us to live. We take oxygen in and carbon dioxide out. Our lungs inflate when we breathe in, lungs deflate when we breathe out. That also works on our muscles too, right here on our chest port. It's just common sense in science, or maybe a bug or glitch in-game during closed beta. However, since you post by G, you're already part of this hype train, and you're actually marketing regardless of what you said, either positively or negatively to the character, even though they're not real. Yet some people treated fictional characters as a real person. Great example is the time when Robin comes out, and oh boy, that is one heck of a drama right there, not gonna lie. But at the very least, you gotta set the boundaries on what is real and what is not. Also setting the boundaries between delusions and reality, and that's pretty much it. Now, as I mentioned from the beginning, they have now realized that Wuthering Waves have exceeded everyone's expectations. They'll do whatever it takes to bring harm or any sort of negativities to this company. This is an implication that Genshin is shaking their socks off theoretically. I mean, not just Genshin, but I would prefer Hoyoverse entirely. But seeing how determined and passionate Kuro Games was in their latest IP, that they literally listened to each player's feedback through these 2 closed betas, that Genshin could never do what Kuro Games do. And also, by learning their mistakes during their early days of punishing Grey Raven, this year, they're going all out for sure, and we got a couple days left before its official release, so to all Woowa frogs out there, are you all excited? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to have a conversation with you. And I'd also like to address to this user right here, before deleting its own channel, keep that opinion to yourself and stop being a pussy. And maybe stop being a slave to Hoyoverse. Nothing good comes out of it if you keep being ignorant, delusional, and honestly, I don't mind if I'm gonna call them a mint picker. I find it hilarious, to be honest. Luckily, I did manage to take a screenshot before it deleted. It's from Sauce Virgil Yamato. Genshin Impact better than Wuthering Waves. I replied, good for you then. And there's also another screenshot where I had a conversation with the user regarding to Lucia from PGR. Her favorite gift was the Froggy plushie, until this user replied, "Genshin has Paimon that Wuthering Waves could never." Oh, okay, so you're okay if Paimon kept yapping to you, but you're not okay if a real person kept yapping at you. Oh boy, I can already sense the duality in here, guys. Anyways, moving on. What's your thoughts on Rover X Jiyan Shin? They dyed the innards of their hair white to match like a couple. Honestly, I find it really cute though, but I prefer not to do it if I were you. We don't want to make that same influence and that same mistake from Genshin right here, just Just don't, okay? Just don't. But if you want to, just be careful, okay? Just be careful. And you gotta think first before you click, alright? There is also another comment on one of the videos I saw on YouTube saying that Wuthering Waves is going to flop so hard, can't wait to see it. No way in hell it's going to compete with Genshin. Heck, once ZZZ drops, Wuthering Waves is going to be forgotten. Well, hate to break it to you, Yuri lover, but ZZZ is the better version of a Honkai Impact 3rd in combat, no joke. And here's my question to you, can you jump in Zelda Zone Zero? And I mean by jump, can you literally press a button or on your phone that makes your character jump? Not the jump animation on one of the attacks or QTE. And as for the world setting, it's basically like Honkai Star Rail but with more interiors and retro modern theme on it. But I acknowledge their release date on ZZZ, and to be honest, they're actually smart on this one. However, as I mentioned earlier, ZZZ and Wuthering Waves are not the same. And again, I mentioned this on one of my previous Wuthering Waves videos. This is a direct competition against the Genshin when it comes to gameplay, and also a direct competition to Hoyoverse as well when it comes to communication. Anyways, moving on. Oh, this one's from 2 hours ago. I actually saw this comment on one of the videos I watched, also from other creators on YouTube. The caption says, from Baseman88 by 88. Oh well. Kuro Games had a collab with Niji-sanji in 2022, which means that they either listened and agreed to sign a contract despite the horrible unethical practices of Kuro-sanji, or they were ignorant of their practices due to not digging into their associates. Either way, they supported the company that hospitalized Dokibird and only exposes that Kuro is very likely to work with literal nonsense. Now this is a great example of misinformation. This is fake, and I'll explain it right now. By navigating the following keywords in this section here, I dig up some information related to the following keywords in this comment, and I managed to find a thread in Reddit. It's about Kuro-sanji statement in regards to Cell and Niji-sanji, and Kuro Games was never part of this thread. Like, literally no information about Kuro Games. So, Baseman, if you're watching this right now, sadly, you're exposed. Now everyone who watched this video knows who you are, so good luck with that one. And yeah, moving on, we're gonna go to the last one. A Twitter user named Haru, also shout out to you Haru, posting this on Twitter, compiling all negative statements and their ego, saying that Wuthering Waves will fail, and the number of pre-registration is too high, yada yada. Well, guess what? It already did. The anxiety of these delusional hypocrites are shaking, and same goes to the Hoyoverse too. That may be the reason Genshin doesn't want to add new endgame content, because of quote-unquote players' anxiety. I mean, yeah, sure, who cares anyway? I mean, not to mention, like, I'm pretty sure you guys heard this news before. A leak contract spreading through the internet. And then this 4chan user on Reddit saying that this contract from Hoyoverse in relates to that one image from Leaker Lemao about Yomiholic or Hoyoverse had full disclosure to reject any sponsorships that could be detrimental to ZZZ or other Hoyoverse games and content creators' reputation. And they say it's fake. Guess what again? Turns out it was actually real. And it was confirmed by 8 content creators who received that same mail, and even other content creators who also covered this video too as well, explaining that this is actually legit. It's not fake, it's not a made-up story, it was actually real, with the same clause as it written here in this photo. And yeah, Liquor Lamau. Honestly, I find that name hilarious, but all jokes aside, again, this is real. It's a confirmation from 8 content creators who received a message from other CC that got this mail from Hoyoverse. Well, to be honest, nothing good comes out if they keep acting and doing the same behavior over and over again. But still, you can't judge them. But at the end of the day, we're still human. We tend to make mistakes, that's true. At the very least, we get to learn our wrongdoings in order to not make that same mistake again in the future. Just let them yap whatever they want, and don't let their passiveness and their immature behavior ruin your day. What comes around, goes around. Up to this day, it's still true. Anyways, thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. I really appreciate you being here. I hope you found something valuable or entertaining in this video. If you did, consider giving a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. It really means a lot to me. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And if you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I would be willing to discuss with you. Alright, that's it for now. Take care and see you in the next video. Goodbye.